Greetings, dear viewer. When you were born, when you came into this world, when you incarnated in your little tiny baby vessel, when you came out of the matrix, the womb, the mater, the dark mother womb, the very first thing that you did was to make sound, to make noise, to cry, to scream, to mark your presence with your voice, with your sound. Speaking for myself, my voice, my sound that I made, which were many sounds and such that I made around September 24th of 2021, singing along, chanting along with a video that I had found on YouTube from Sadhguru and his Isha Kriya yoga musicians. It was a video of an 11 hours, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. Yes, that was strange, but I was aware enough for those numbers to catch my attention. My intuition, that sense of God timing, led me to investigate this video, and I ended up working with that video, and it was a Shiva mantra. And I became entranced with it. I sang along, I danced along with it. It changed my life. It healed me. It gave me another birth, another chance, second chance, a rebirth, but it eventually led to this life, this path of optimization that I have been on. And it is a journey that we all partake of. To one degree or another, people go through these periods of expansion, of contraction, of whatever you want to call it, yin yang, positive, negative, God, Satan. You follow God a little bit at one time. You kind of get off in a life of sinning. Well, eventually, your time will come when all of that is put together and integrated. And so, I'm offering this information to illustrate, to emphasize the importance of your sound, the power of your voice, your sound, your vibration is what it really comes down to, is what is taking place. And in this reality, through the science of cymatics, that is how you can understand that there are dimensions above us, above us. There are intelligences around us that are singing, that are making noises. I can tell you that. I have heard it with my own ears when my vibration was high enough. That all around us is a vast choir of love singing this into existence, creating this experience. And ultimately, despite all of the seeming darkness that we experience, ultimately, speaking for myself, I have to say it is a beautiful experience. And it has become more beautiful, more meaningful as this living temple that I was designed to be, that you are designed to be. It has become more beautiful, more meaningful as this living temple has become more substantial. That is what the New Jerusalem is. It is your consciousness, cleansed, purified. And that is for you to decide, your path. Like I said, we all go through these expansion, contractions. And so for me, I was at probably the most compact, contractive point of destruction that I was in my life when I found this temple technology from Sadhguru, this mantra that I worked with. And it ended up collapsing my human ego and it created an explosion of divinity within me. So that was 5 years ago, roughly. And so getting back on track, but these sounds, and they're ubiquitous across cultures. These Na, Ma, Shi, Va, Ya. Of course, they correspond with the elements within ceremonial magic. But these sounds, it doesn't matter the sound ultimately. If you're anxious or if something's bothering you, if you just start humming, making up your own little words, whatever, but the mere fact that you're beginning to activate your inner temple, and even better if you can ascribe and understand the sounds that you're engaging in. Ata, Malkuth, Vegebura, Vegedula, Leolam, Amen. Those sounds, those syllables have meaning across cultures and there's similarity, but ultimately, Ma Shi Va Ya is the architecture of the living temple. In the Vedic sciences, Panchakshara mantra, Ma Shi Va Ya, is not symbolic poetry. It is a functional map of how consciousness inhabits form. These 5 syllables correspond to the Panchabhutas, the 5 elemental strata that compose both the universe and the human body. When spoken or felt consciously, the mantra reharmonizes the body as a temple, aligning matter with awareness. This is not prayer to Shiva. This is activation of Shiva consciousness through the body. And so when this name, this word Shiva, of course, Adiyogi, the statue of Adiyogi, the image of Adiyogi, the image of Shiva is everywhere. It's in different forms. And perhaps that is what people think of or what comes to mind when they consider the word Shiva. But there really ultimately is a deeper meaning behind it. The word Shiva, literally, as it's composed, arranged together, those 2 syllables, Sanskrit, it means that which is not. And so to begin to offer another dimension of understanding to getting beyond the image, but what it actually means in its impact, that which is not. Well, you're going beyond your human limited ego, that illusion, and you're merging with that which is not. It is the only way that we can understand it. It's a paradox in meaning, but it is behind all creation. You have merged into this bliss state of that which is not of this world. And so you carry that which is not of this world, which is Shiva, within your awareness. It has merged, it has came, and it has descended, ascended, incended, whatever you want to call it. It has dissolved your human construct. And you have merged with that which is not of this world. As Master Yeshua has said, I am in this world, but not of it. And so that is what architecture of the living temple is all about. Na, earth, stability, the physical body. And so, in particular, this syllable, na, earth, stability, I believe is very important to focus on. And then because at this time that we're living in, a lot of people, their stability, their foundations are under attack. And so the best thing I believe, the most powerful thing I believe that would come from the living temple, from recognizing that you are the living temple, is beginning to claim your foundation. I think it's a really sort of situation where people are meant, or they're guilted into wanting to be good to themselves, or have, they feel that living a healthy lifestyle somehow is being selfish. And so a lot of people are not doing that. They're not living this healthy lifestyle. But and that doesn't mean materialism. That just means being not an impediment to yourself. I was listening to Sadhguru earlier. They have their Shivaratri, Mahashivratri ceremonies taking place. Got fortunate enough, intuition led me to get on and watch his opening remarks to the ceremony that's taking place. And his opening remarks were very inspiring because he said exactly what needs to be said as far as the technology, the spiritual technology. It was a very grounded message that he was saying that this technology, this spiritual technology, is simply allowing people in whatever capacity that they find themselves in to not be their own impediment. In occult terminology, I have come to understand it, co-opting a Shakespearean, or not Shakespearean, but Edgar Allan Poe term from one of his stories, imp of the perverse, or your own worst enemy. And people, and that's what I'm talking about, people go through that in their lives until they figure that out, until that has been worked through. And so the spiritual technology of yoga is a way to work through your own worst enemy tendencies. And so Na, in this process, this building of the temple, I believe is what, for me personally, is I'm focusing on. And these energies, if you understand Mahashivratri, the energies that we're experiencing right now, and through the lunar occultation, through its cycle and all that, what's taking place is the mind aspect is being overshadowed by the energy of this long night, this long moon night, this long night of Shiva. And it's allowing all of the anxieties and stuff that people's mental constructs tend to uh, create as an obstacle to subside. And you're in a position where you can feel this vast influx of energy. Ya, ether, space, Va, air, prana, heart chakra, Shi, fire, transformation. This temple that is your crown, your awakened heart. And as I said, these syllables, which I understand them as syllables. I don't correlate them exactly at this point. My Sanskrit is not good enough where I'm seeing them as air, fire, water, earth. But that is literally how a Sanskrit speaker, when they're hearing these sounds, they understand that these are conterminous with these elements within this vast spiritual technology that is the Vedic sciences. And so, Na, earth, stability, root chakra, are the kosha, are the sheath. These sheath, you have your physical body, your astral body, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, the koshas. And so, but I believe it's vastly important or beneficial to focus on this earth, this red color, this na, this stability. Na, 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 na. So just hum, just sing, and make sound, make vibrations. And but so yeah, I'm going to do what I can, a little, you know, live stream event that I have set up for later on tonight. And really, it's just to share, just to try to, I think probably the most honest and sincere thing that I could share in doing all of this stuff is to say that there is a power within you. No matter where you're at in your life right now, um, you have a power within you that was designed by whatever you want to call it, but it was certainly a consciousness, an intelligent consciousness. If God triggers your, religious trauma, you know, whatever you want to call it, source, but I promise you, there is an intelligence behind, within all of this. You were designed as a temple. Um, and so you have this technology within you to make sound. And I'm going to make some sound later on tonight. I'm going to tell you that I am here, I am safe, I belong in form. If you are alive right now, if you have any chance, or you haven't just decided that it's time for you to leave, but you still have a power of life within you, then there's a reason for that. Stop wasting time. Stop being lukewarm. Either be hot or be cold. And so you are here. That is what that is what this ceremony in my mind, how I understand it, is is to celebrate this. Your consciousness in form. And so the temple goes on, nama, water, flow, blood, emotion. Ma restores fluidity, emotional movement, rigidity, whatever stuck routine perhaps you might be in. But this rigidity softens, trauma loosens, life begins to circulate again. She, she. You can hear Sadhguru, he's always making this noise, this she. And to share one, I don't know how long this is going on, but she, fire, transformation, metabolism, Agni, the element, solar plexus, Kosha, Maya, mental, emotional. She ignites the inner furnace. Alchemy of fear into clarity. This is where ego is not destroyed, but refined. And but I will share this after this Kundalini activation, this experience I had back in 2021. I followed up with that with doing online sadhanas with Sadhguru. And in one of them, I went through this process of what was called Udana pranayama, activation of this energy. And I've never done anything like that, but it was a very intricate, I made a video about it where I detailed exactly the steps that we went through, but it was like an hour of, if you were a male, you had to hold your arm at a 45-degree angle, your right arm at a 40-degree angle, and at a certain level, and then you had your other hand over your solar plexus here, your shi, your transformation area, and you were making these sounds, whoo, she, but it was intricate along with breathing, and like I said, it was about an hour, and my arm, there was a fire from just holding it there, and that fire spread. That sound that I was making with the muscle fatigue and all of that was coming together, and this fire, it became active. It was lit. It spread all through my body. But what I remember towards the culmination of this activation ceremony was this sense of this sense or vision of this roaring fire. That's it was through it had consumed my entire body, and it was the vision, the sense, the seeing, but also this emotion of joy, of ecstasy, of transcendence that was melting. Literally, I was this was experiencing this, and it was all from breathing, intoning, making noise, sound, and of course it was it had a certain structure to it. I made a video on it. You can go look it up. Udana Pranayama if you search that. But this is my just offering testimony to illustrate, to emphasize that we have the power within. We don't need, um, I know, I mean, yes, technology is great. Sadhguru talked about that this morning as well. Technology, how religion in its old form is gone. People, kids, these, they're used to actual magic, seeing things through technology, and we're going to see more of it as AI develops. But that is why this um, technology is very vital. This is why I feel my testimony is vital. It's why I do this. It's not for money or anything, obviously, but I'm feel compelled because it changed my life. Just the sound, the arrangement of sound, and it's within us. And so this, I believe that this Sadhguru was saying that this technology is relevant, that it's going to be relevant and be stable, substantial, because it's competing with this technology. Of course, AI and stuff, and people making videos of themselves. But see, eventually, that is where this path has to separate. It doesn't have to, it just has to be understood that integration is necessary. And why I believe that it's necessary for me to do whatever I can to put this message out that yes, technology is great, but so is the technology within you, your own technology of sound. And so you came into this world making sound, and if you're in danger of leaving this world, and you don't want to, if you know if your soul's telling you that you've got more in you, then make a sound, and make a sound with the Umbanda New Elohim Ashram tonight at 7:30 p.m. Texas time as we build the inner temple, the third temple. And this is not the third temple that the war hawks and the cabal are trying to convince everybody about, that they have to go to war in the Middle East. This not stone temple. This is the temple within. This is the temple of Mahashivratri. Namaste, Namaskaram.